So everybody can see my screen, right? Is there someone who is not able to see the screen that I'm sharing? एक बार में आ जाओ यार.
अब कल से मैं आपको ईमेल दे दूंगा, तो एक बार एंट्री देने की जरूरत नहीं होगी.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so the first thing, actually, in any programming language, is way. Okay, so in every programming language, we have constants, we have fixed values, we have variables, and there are certain variables that are taken. I'll show you what this means. Like fixed values such as numbers, letters, like 1, 2, 3. These are numbers, and there are integers like one, 2, 3, and there are floating point numbers. Those are decimal numbers. Okay, so the first thing that we'll be doing here is, wait, I'll share the whole screen. Hmm. Can you see my screen? And are we able to switch between these slides comfortably?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we have constants like 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. These are constants, and there are string constants like single quotes or double quotes. We'll use them. I'll just pass through these slides really fast, and then we'll do it on the IDE. So these are reserved words. You know that when we do programming, you always do something like this, like x equal to 5, and y equal to something like, wait, yeah, this is a disaster. Wait, yeah, wait a minute. I'm just opening in PyCharm because there is one button missing on my VS Code window, and I don't want to run commands through the terminal. I'll show you what I mean. First, let's get comfortable with this. Yeah. So, like we always do, what we do is, right, we write x equal to 5, y equal to 6, and then we can do something like z equal to x plus y. So, here x is a variable, y is a variable, and we assign it with something equal to, it's like assignment operator. We assign x equal to 5, y equal to 6, and if we print it here, z, the value will be 6. I'll run it in this one. Yeah, okay, good. X equal to 5. Wait, let me increase the font size. Settings and now to appearance. There is font size. Oh my god, this is got to be a disaster. So I hope you can see it now. X equal to 5, y equal to 6, and then z equal to x plus y. Now if I print z, so this should be 6. So all these x, y, and z, they are, here is some 11. We expected that x plus y, like 6 plus 5 is 11. So all these are variables. X is variable, y is variable, z is variable. We store different values in these variables. In case of Python, in case of any programming language, actually, this variable can be an image. This can be an image. This can be some huge data set. So these are variables. We store values in variables. We'll work with images next week. Okay. So, but there you cannot name variable these things. These are reserved keywords like false, none, true, assert, break, except, else. These are already reserved words. You cannot, because they have already their function. Like why, you know about while. You know about while. There is return. There is class. There is false. Like when you are comparing, some of them are comparison operators. Some of them are even like, this is a this is a class type, and this is a boolean, true or false, none if it exists. So these are all taken, and we cannot use them as variables. So you should keep this in mind. Like, these are simple things. This will not bother you in the long run. You will get to know, like, I cannot say something like this, none equal to 5. When I run this, it will show me a error, syntax error, can't assign to keyword, because this is a reserved variable. I cannot assign none equal to 5. I can assign non equal to 5. That will not generate an error. Okay. So don't use reserved variables. Don't use reserved words as your variables. They will not work. You don't need to memorize any of these when you start. When you are coding, eventually you will get the hold of it. You don't even need to make an effort in remembering this. So like I said, variable, it is like a name in which we store our data. It can be a integer like y equal to 14, and it can be something like a floating point number, like in this case float, x equal to 12.2. Okay. And one thing that happens is, whenever we assign in this case, first we have assigned x equal to 12.2. Let me show you in the coding editor. Are you guys able to see the font, or is the font too small? Just let me know. I can increase the font size if you are not able to see this thing very clearly. Just let me know. Can you guys see it clearly?
Yeah, we can say.
Okay, not everybody can see. Let me change. Let me change our settings. Font, okay. I'll increase it to 22. I hope now you guys are able to see, because if I increase the font size even more, I think it will be a problem, because I will not be able to fit many lines of code. I will just increase it by one more font size, no, to 24. Okay, I hope this is working now. I changed it from, I think, 14 or 16 to 24. Okay, so the first thing is, like, we write x equal to 10, and we print x. Okay. Oh, sorry. When we print x, it will, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, it will print out on the console that x is 10, and you can reassign this variable. If I write x equal to 11, or just 1200, and if I print the value of x again, it will be first 10, and then, okay, it will be first 10, but when I reassign it, it will be 1200. If I don't print this one, you can see that it only knows the, when we print, this x takes the value of 1200, because it was reassigned here. Okay. So whenever you assign a new variable, a new value to a variable, the old value is changed. Like here it is shown in cross, it is changed. It is no longer available for your use. So if you have some important variable, name it something else. make sure you don't name the variables. Uh, you don't have the same name for the variables for different variables that you are going to use. And later we will all come to something that is called scope of a variable. Like there is global scope and there is local scope. We'll come to that later. But yeah, in general, until you develop that understanding of local and global variables, if you have important variables that you have to deal with, just make sure you don't name them something. You don't change, you don't assign them something else, because otherwise it will mess up with your code. Okay, so there are different rules. Now we are talking about variables. Now we are talking about variables. So there should be some there are some rules. There are even some coding styles. There are even some coding guidelines. When you join a company, they tell you that you should follow a certain coding style, because in a company or wherever you are working, there is always more than one person working on the code. So uh, so everybody should be able to understand your code, and whatever variables you name, you should they should make sense. The naming should make sense, is what it means. And the Python name variables, they are case sensitive. Like here it is shown: spam all lowercase, spam s uppercase, and spam all uppercase. They are all different variables. Let me show you. What do we mean? What is what do we mean here? Spam like equal to 4. I'll assign it 4. Spam equal to 11, and I like full uppercase equal to 50. Okay. Print, like if I print spam, it will be 4. And if I print capital S spam, it will be 11. And if I write all case SPAM and I run this will be 50, because every variant of this uppercase lowercase, it will be a new variable because it is case sensitive. Okay, these are small things. You will get hold of these by yourself. And yeah, okay, you will get hold of these once we start coding. You just need to know this, that something like this uh, exists. And you can you can name your variables not with just these letters. You can say like something like this. If you're working with numbers, number one number one is equal to 40, then number two is equal to like something like 80, and you can say sum equal to number one plus number two, and then you will print the sum. So this is something that is making sense. You are working with two numbers, you can say number one, number two, sum, number one plus number two, sum it. So this is something that makes sense, which if somebody else is reading the code, he or she will know that there is what is happening. So this is something self-explanatory, and it is very important when you are writing like a huge piece of code. Okay. Yeah, and it is called mnemonic variable names. Mnemonic, something something you can remember. Like in this case, it was a number one, number two, but you can if you are, for example, you are making a website. For example, you are making a website and you want a background image. You can just store that background image there, like background image. It's self-explanatory. You don't. Some sort of image will be here. It is self-explanatory. Okay, this is the background image for the website. If you write image, now you have to specify background image. So you need additional documentation for the other people to understand. Okay, this is not how documentation is written. I'm just giving an example. We will come to that later. So you have to give additional explanation. Okay, kahan ki image hai? What image is this? Okay, and if you are using mnemonic name variables, so that is self-explanatory. So that's why it is recommended, and it is best practice. And if you are writing code and if you are going for an interview and somebody is you reading your code, and if you have not named your variables properly, that is not a very good impression, and that is very bad. Even for you, when you are coding, you will forget everything. Okay, so yeah, this is not something that you should do. because this is very confusing. This is not mnemonic. This is some sort of nonsense. So what the meaning of this is that you should use good variable names, because it is even difficult to type some of these and remember some of these yourselves. Okay, so like I said, this is the assignment statement x equal to 2. This is the assignment operator equal to, and you are assigning x equal to 2. And this is assignment with expression like you are x equal to x plus 2. Okay, we'll do this variable operator constant function. Okay, we'll come to these things. And what it is saying is x equal to 5, x equal to x plus 5, parent x. So there are two things happening here. First, there is we define a variable x equal to 5, this 2, x equal to 5, and then what I am doing is to this x I am adding 2. So this x will be 5 here, and then 2 will get added to it, and when we print it, it will be 7. So you can see how these variables, you can update the variable with something, and it will use this variable here, and when this operations of sum is finished, and the variable will be updated. But up to this statement, on the right side of this statement, old variables will be old variable value will be used, and this will be used a lot during for loops, while loops, when you are or you want to keep count of something x equal to x plus 1 or I equal to I plus 1. You will do this a lot. So purana vara, so the old variable plus whatever you are adding it to, and that will be updated into the same variable. uh, I hope this is not confusing. किसी को does somebody has a doubt or is not able to follow along, just let me know, or somebody needs an explanation up to this point. Hmm.
मेरे को ये विजुअल बेसिक सेटअप करना नहीं आ रहा.
Visual Basic,
सॉरी,
Visual Studio.
विजुअल स्टूडियोस. यस.
Okay,
मेरा
I will share a video with you later. You can use Google Colab right now. And I don't think today we'll be doing something very crazy with the programming. So what you should do, if you are totally new to the programming, you should just listen, and later on you can follow these slides and type it on your own. I'll share a video with you how to set up your, or you can start downloading
Xcode पे हो सकता है.
Xcode to C. Xcode is for I think C++, right?
No, it's for all.
Yeah, okay. If it is for all, you can use whatever ID. You can use whatever ID. That is up to you. I just had to recommend a few IDs. You can use whatever is working for you. There is no like foundation of you on using any kind of software for your programming lesson.
Okay.
Okay. I am using PyCharm here because it is easy to run the programs here. Although I can do the same in VS Code, but I don't know why the option was not showing here there. Okay, so any other questions related to the concept या कुछ समझ नहीं आया होगा? If somebody is not able to understand anything, just let me know, or I will continue.
सर पाइथन में सर जैसे हम लोग कोई वेरिएबल इनपुट इंटीजर लेते हैं, कोई वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करते हैं, तो अगर हम वो इंटीजर इनपुट वेरिएबल लेते हैं तो इंट डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा क्या? उसके आगे इंट लिखना पड़ेगा?
नहीं, no. That is the good thing about Python. You don't need to define variables. Like in C++, I don't know, maybe in Java also.
डेटा टाइप डिफाइन नहीं करना पड़ेगा?
No, whenever you assign it, जब भी तुम कुछ assign करते हो किसी, जैसे तुमने x में 1 assign किया, तो उसको पता है कि ये इंटीजर है, तो वो खुद ही बैकग्राउंड में उसको, मतलब you don't need to specify data types. X can be if you put an image in it, तुम image डालते हो उसमें, तो it will be an image, it will be an integer, it will be a float, it will be a matrix, it will be anything without defining. When you write the variable की variable क्या है, जैसे तुमने x equal to 1 लिखा, तो it knows कि it is an integer. We'll see it knows. Okay. Does anyone else has does anyone else have a question, or I should continue?
If we initialize x is equal to 5 and then we initialize x is equal to 7, तो 5 आएगा आउटपुट में या 7?
7. I'll show you again. If you whatever you have assigned later, that will come in the output. Whatever you have assigned later. Like if I write x equal to 5 and then x equal to 7 and I print it will come out to be 7. Okay, so what is happening is the code is being executed line by line. What happens is, first the interpreter, it is showing it took the value x equal to 5 and it reached here, and we have updated value x equal to 7. So in the memory the value of x is 7. So after this point, whenever you take the value of x, whatever you want to do with the value of x, it will be always 7. If I print it here, it will be 5 here, but once we reassign it as 7, so it will be 7. You can see here on the output, first it is 5 when we print it first time. Okay, first it is equal to,
समझ में आ गया.
and I'm just still if somebody else. Okay, so first it is 5, then it is equal to 7 after reassigning. Okay, right now if you don't understand these small things, you should ask, because the doubts, they will build up, they will add up, and then you will not be able to understand. If don't think no question is dumb, or no, like you can ask any question any number of times. No question is dumb, don't worry. Okay, so first it is 5, then it is 7. Okay, so the variable, you don't need to think about it too much. So okay, let's look at this. So we can assign anything to a variable, like a variable. This the expression can be something like this: 3.9 into x into 1 minus x, and we may have defined x somewhere else. Like, wait a minute, let me just put it here. Okay, so it can be anything, like this is the right side is the expression like x equal to 5, and we can manipulate it like could, like whatever we want, like 3.4 star 1 minus x plus 4 plus 99 plus 23 star x. Okay, and if we print the value of x, it will calculate it like this. This is the value. So the right hand side is the assignment side. It's the expression, and it is being assigned to this side. On the left hand side, don't not something very important. And it is stored in the memory, and the memory will be updated. Like I said, first it is x, and then when all this right hand side will be calculated, then it will be updated in the x variable. Okay. The right hand side is the expression. Once the expression is evaluated, the result is placed and the result is updated. Expressions. So now there are different types of numeric expressions. Well, if somebody has doubt, they should ask. We'll start with numerical expressions: plus, minus, subtract, power, remainder, everything. And this is the right time to ask questions. And the workshop will get interesting. If it is not interesting to everybody, I promise I have, whatever level you are on, I have something for everyone. Just sit through this initial period and you will get to learn something.
वर्कशॉप में मशीन लर्निंग भी टॉपिक कवर होगा क्या?
No, there will be no machine learning. I was thinking, but that will be a separate workshop.
Oh, okay.
But no, this will be just basics to computer, basics of computer. We'll go to up to that point. No machine learning or deep learning.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so let's start with the numerical expression. So numerical expression, these are simple things that we do in math, and we just need to know how to do it in Python. So you know what about addition, what addition does, what subtraction does, what division does, what is raised to power something, what is power, what is remainder. Okay, so like we initially did, x equal to 3, y equal to 2. I will just directly write print x plus y. So we know this is the sum addition operator, so it will be x equal to 5. Okay, sorry, the sum will be equal to 5. And when we multiply it, print x star y, this will be 6. 3 2s are 6. If we divide it, it will be 1.5. Okay, and if we want to find the remainder will be 1. Percentage sign is remainder. So if you want the notes, you can take these notes. And if we want x raised to power y, we'll use double asterisk and run. It will be 3 square, that is 9. Is there something else? Oh, no, I don't think. Subtraction. So there are these 4 operators, plus minus. No, sorry, 6 operators, plus addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, power, and remainder. And okay, these are some numerical expressions. We did this. Okay, cool. Order of evaluation. So let me tell you, let's go on to something simple. If we have a number, okay. We want to find out, we want to find out, I'll just partially say it here. We'll do it. And yeah, we'll do it later. If the number is odd or even. So what do you know, what you can say is number, something like this, remainder. Remainder क्या होगा? Number divided by 2. You can think if remainder is equal to 0, then it is even, and we'll do it in control loops. But right now I'm just saying what kind, how we can use these operators. If remainder not equal to 0, so it will be odd. So you know how these things can do more than, like this. These things are used to just more than find out just more than the remainder. These can be used as a logic in different types of things that you will see uh, in the near future. Okay, so the order of precedence. Now what we wrote is x equal to 1 plus 2 star, like हमारा board mass होता है. We have board mass, or we have PEMDAS, whatever it is called. So in the programming also there is what is the order of precedence. Like board mass में पहले bracket होता है, फिर off होता है, फिर multiplication होता है, फिर divide होता है, फिर addition होता है, फिर subtraction होता है. In board mass there is bracket of multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So this is the order of precedence in Python. So first parenthesis will be evaluated, then power will be evaluated. We'll see what I mean by this. Like x equal to 6, y is equal to x plus 6 plus x plus 9, x plus 9 star 5. Okay, now we'll print its value, print value of y. When we run this, the value is 87. Okay, now if I remove these, we have a value of 87. I hope my point gets made here. I'm not sure what will be the answer. 87. The answer is different. Yeah, 63. So you saw that. If we change the brackets, there is a difference, sum, or the expression is getting evaluated differently, and the expression is getting evaluated differently because of this order of precedence, parenthesis, power, addition, and then the final is multi. And here addition, by addition, it means both addition and subtraction. Addition is addition. Addition and subtraction, they are the same operation, somewhat the same operation. You can represent x minus y by x plus minus y. So it is the same operation. That's why you don't see addition or subtraction differently here. And multiplication and division is the same, and power, and then finally left to right. Okay, so if you are doing some maths, make sure you follow this. And for not even maths, when you are writing some complex piece of code, you need to know if whatever you are doing, if you are doing it the right way. Not only in the mathematical operations, but in different operations like assignment, swapping values. Just make sure you understand these basic things. You understand the basics here. Okay, what is taking the precedence. Okay, so you can see right here. First, there is parenthesis. There are no parentheses here. There are no parentheses here. So the next one is power. So first what will happen is 2 raised to power 3. That would be 8. And then after that multiplication takes place. And the second thing, multiplication takes place. And after multiplication, there is also left to right. So first, it is not like 4 and 5 will be multiplied. No, it will be 8 and 4 will be divided. Okay, so whenever you are writing an expression, make sure you know what is happening. Keep this in mind. And then 8 by 4 is 2, and 2 into 5 is 10, and the answer is 11. So yeah, there is order of precedence that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so operator, remember the rules. Okay, what type of data? Now we have different types of data, especially in Python. Uh, Although it is in every other language also, but yeah, Python, you don't specifically put the type of type. You don't like the guy was asking a question. We don't define type, so you don't define type here, but it knows what type of variable you are using. Okay, so like x equal to 14, I stored a value of. Does anybody have any questions regarding to precedence? What variables to take precedence? Does anybody have any questions regarding precedence? And then we'll come to data types.
Questions नहीं.
Cool. And if somebody is not able to understand, अगर किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा है and they need an explanation in Hindi/Urdu, just let me know. I'll teach in English because I hope everybody is able to understand, and we have English. We are being taught in English medium, so it is a little expected. If you don't understand, don't shy away. Just ask me a question. Whatever language you ask question in, I will reply in that language.
Is there somewhere you'll upload the recordings?
Yeah. I will be uploading the recordings. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ask me a question, and like I also speak Kashmiri, so अगर कोई Kashmiri है तो I can speak Kashmiri. But yeah, Kashmiri, Hindi, Hindi/Urdu and English. I can speak these languages. So if you have a question, because native languages, in mother languages, you can understand things better. Mother languages, mein, matlab, okay. So you can ask me question in any language and not any in these languages, and I will answer. I will explain to you. Okay. So now we'll move on to the data types. Like I've stored x equal to 14. So we want to see what type you was talking. Somebody was talking about the type. There is a function, predefined function. We'll write manual functions also, custom functions, but there is a function called type. Very convenient, right? So very mnemonic. So you should write mnemonic names of functions and everything. You'll see how easy it is to remember. And so to find out the type of a function, so what we'll do, we'll print type of x. We want to see what kind of variable this is, and you can see it is of class int. Okay, so it knows that it is class int. It means that it is of class integer, and it is showing class integer. I will show you later, even though we'll not go into object oriented programming here, but yeah, it is of class int. Okay, so this is the integer. If I write now 14.0 and I run this code again, this will be a class float. Float is like decimal. So this is of class type float. Okay, so there was type integer, there was type float, and if I write name, like I write Ibad, okay, and I run this is of type string. Okay, so there are different types of variables. There are different types of variables. There are strings, there are ints, there are floats. Okay, and you don't need to think about them much in Python like you do in C++. If you you need to be very specific with the type of variables in C++. The good thing about Python is that it takes care of everything for you. But if you are doing operations on certain types of things, you need to know. Okay, what kind of variable I am working with. Yeah, type matters. Okay, type matters. Some operations are prohibited. Like I'll show you. Okay, so what will happen is if x equal to will do. You saw. Does anybody have any question related to type? समझ नहीं आया what type is? Okay, so I hope I think everybody is able to understand everything. I don't know how. I, because I have also learned programming. There are always some doubts, but okay. Okay, so there are only like I said, you need to know the type, and there are certain restrictions of what you can do with different types, like x equal to 5, and I say y equal to 7, and if I print, I want to add. Okay, let's not do it like this. Z equal to x plus y. Okay, and now I'll print z. When I run this, we expect it. Oh, x. I have to print z. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So the sum will be 12. Okay, the sum will be 12. And if I do 5.3 plus something like this, it will be 12.3. So you can see integers and floats add ho sakta hai, and it is not very surprising because these are both numbers. So now we'll try to do something like add a string. Like let's add 5.3 to my name. Okay, my first name. When I run this, there will be a type error. And yeah, Python is very like Python is very good. It's very easy to find out the problem, unlike C++. So it shows you the type error. It even shows you the line number, line 6 may what it is. Yeah, this will be very useful. Right now it may seem not that useful. But yeah, this the traceback that it generates, it's very useful. It tells you the line number, and it tells you that it is a type error that you are doing. There is some problem with the type of the variable that you are using. So it showed you that type operator plus operand type plus is not valid for float and string. It means that float or string add nahi ho sakte. This is what it is trying to show you. So you need to know the type. And if I do something like this, if I write Ratharibag and I run this, they add. In this case, the word is concatenate. We concatenate strings. Concatenate. Wait. Concatenate. Okay, we concatenate strings. It is not called addition. It is called concatenating strings, like adding strings together. Okay, and like it is there is written in this presentation, hello plus there, it is a valid operation. But if you write trip e plus 1, it is not a valid operation, because you cannot add integer plus string. We can ask the Python what type something is. If you are not sure what type of, in huge programs you are not sure what kind of variable you are getting, or if you want to second check, you can always like type print, if we all type of z in this case is x plus y, and that is Rathar plus Ibad. If I type print its type, so it is of class string. String is text. Okay, string is text. Several types of numbers, and there are positive numbers, there are negative numbers, there are floating point numbers, which means decimals. Like I can do something like this: x equal to 100, y equal to minus 100, and the sum should be equal to 0, and it is showing here, and the sum is of class int. The type is of class int. Does somebody have any question? कोई question है इस चीज को लेके, concatenation को लेके, किसी भी चीज को लेके? So one thing, if you want to get excited, अगर we'll write a program at the on the end of this workshop, and you will be able to take any book and you will be able to count its words कि कौन से type के words है इसमें, या कौन सा word सबसे ज़्यादा बार repeat हो रहा है. And it is very like 1000 page की book है, a book is of 1000 pages, and in just a few seconds it will count everything, every word, and you can generate a word cloud out of it. We'll see what we'll do. But yeah, at the end of, I think maybe this week or in the fourth session we'll be able, we'll do this. Okay, so this is going to get interested, and it is very powerful that you can read through the entire book in just a few seconds. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? And this knowledge will come in handy there. Concatenation of strings and some other things that we'll learn along the way. So everything that we are learning, it will be put towards a project at the end. It will be a project, a good project. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, no questions. Cool. Several types of numbers. There are floating points, integers, and okay. So the next thing you can do is you can convert one from one type to another type. Okay. In case, okay, let's take the example of this. X equal to, okay, Ibad, I'll write Ibad. Y equal to 99. Okay, so z is equal to x plus y, and when I print z,
what if you don't give double inverted quotes on your name?
Yeah, so okay, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so we need to in order to define a string like number, we used to define by directly writing a number. But in case you want to write a string, So it should be in double inverted commas, even single inverted commas, even triple inverted commas, something like this. This is called a doc string. But okay,
Okay.
so it needs to be in inverted commas. I generally use double inverted commas, but yeah, you can use different types of depending on the situation. If there is, like, we use doc string in case we have long text in which we want to include quotation marks, because if I want to write something like this, he said, and I quote, and when I use quotation marks, there will be an error here. Will there be error? No, there will not be error in case. Wait. If I want to use like something like this, okay, I want to use single double quotes. It will not. It will not work. It will like it is showing already that missing quotes. There are missing quotes. But if I use triple, uh, if I use a doc string, wait. So now it is not showing error. In case it depends on the situation. Like I said, how you want to define a string. It really depends on the situation. If you want to include some things, and even in what, and even when you are writing database, you use doc strings when you are working with databases, because there are a lot of things that you have to write. Okay, and you can even write with the help of doc string in multiple lines like this. I can write here, hello, my name is Bad, and if I print, let me comment this because it will generate an error when I run this. Okay, so it is saying hello, my name is Ibad. Okay, so you can, if you have to define a string in multiple lines, you can use doc string. Okay, so sorry, I forgot for the first time. Okay, let's use this string. Okay, hello, my name is Ibad, and y equal to 99. That's it is. It's not perfect. Now I want to add this. I want to concatenate this, but I cannot concatenate these because this is type string and this is type integer. So what I can do is I can change its type. I can do something like y equal to str, y equal to stry. So what I am doing is I'm taking this y and converting it into a string. And when I run this, hello, my name is Ibad, and 99 is added to it. So keep it more visible. Let's not change the line. Hello, my name is Ibad99. Okay. So now you have changed from type int to type string. Let me show you. Print. I will print type y, and then print type y. Okay, first it is class integer, it is an integer, and then when we change the type using str, it is of type string. Okay, so you can change type like this, and now we will think, can I change if x equal to 1.3, x equal to int of x. I want to change the floating point I want to change the floating point to integer. Now when I will try print type of x, and when I run this code, you will see it is of class int. If you want to see the first what the type is, so this is how you can change types. It comes in really handy.
If you only print the x, then what is the output?
If I print just the x, it will be whatever we have stored. It will be yeah, it will be 1, like we first ran. It will be 1 because it is no more 1.3. It is 1.3.
If you print the x in the column,
sorry, I didn't understand. X in column, what do you mean? Sorry.
I think he want to say x is equal to x.
X equal to x. Yeah, that will not change anything. That will not change anything. It will be 1.3. Because you are reassigning the same thing. You are first x is equal to 1.3, and then you are assigning x in the same variable, by the way, x, but that as x is already 1.3. If I do it like this, x equal to integer of x, then I do x equal to x, and I type x, it will be 1, and I print x, it will be 1. You can PM me or you can WhatsApp me your questions, personal chat, in case you are shy in asking questions on chat. Okay, was this clear? Is there still a doubt with this, or is this clear? Hello.
It's clear.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Cool.
अच्छा सर, अगर
हाँ
अगर सर यहाँ पे x का वैल्यू 1 लेते हैं और x इक्वल्स टू int के जगह वहाँ पे स्ट्रिंग लिख देते हैं,
Yeah, you can
या सर फ्लोट, सॉरी फ्लोट लिखते हैं, तो सर 1.0 आएगा वैल्यू.
yeah, it should be 1.0. Yeah, 1.0.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, sir, clear.
You can do, but you cannot do this thing. Okay, so you can convert from into, but it should make sense. Like you cannot do something like this. If I say x equal to like ibad, and then I try to say x equal to, or maybe it does. I don't know. We'll find out. Because there is that like ASCII coding hoti hai. It can be that number. I don't know for sure, but let's find out. Yeah, it's
Probably error.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
error. But there are some operations where you will see that if you can change the text into a number. I don't remember exactly right now, but yeah, there are some ways you can convert text into numbers. Okay. So yeah, it will be a value error. So you cannot convert strings into numbers because it does not make sense.
Yeah, sir, clear.
Okay. And you type conversion. Okay. Integer division. Okay. Let's see some interesting things. I guess this is interesting. Wait. 0.994. Is interesting. Yeah, okay, this is showing you this was different in Python too, because in some languages, if you divide, like in even in C++, if you divide 10 by 2, it I think it changed its type from it changed its type. You need to specify. I'm not sure. You need to specify in that case that no, we still want floating point number. And sometimes what we do in other programming languages is if we want it to be a float, we can write 2.0 or we can write the same integer operation, conversion operation. Don't be confused, just forget what I said. Okay, so print, we'll see directly print type of 3 divided by 2. It should be an integer. Yeah, sorry, it should be a float. 1.5, sorry, float. 3 by 3 should be what? Let's see what this should be. It is also a float. Okay. Okay. Cool. So what it was trying to say is, it will all the division will be always a float, and in case you want to convert into an integer, because 3 by 3 is somewhat, it can be represented as an integer, so you have to convert it to an integer. It will be a float. So this is what it was trying to say.
Sorry, if you divide int 3 divided by int 3, then what do you type?
Yeah, okay, let's see that. But I think it will be the same because it already knows that it is an int. But yeah, we can always check. You can always check. There is no possible way of learning all this. Yeah, it will be still float, as I guessed, because it already knows. Even if you are, this is like some redundant code, because what is happening is it already knows that it is a integer. So it was back. It was as before. It's still converted into a floating point number. Okay, string convergence. You can convert int into float, and let's see this thing. X equal to, we'll write x as a string. Okay, 1. Let's see what happens if we convert x into string. Okay, it is a 1. Okay, let's see if it generates error. We'll see. It does not. Wait. Yeah, it does not generate any error, because 1 can be converted from string to an int. Good that I saw it. Yeah, I didn't forget. Okay, because 1 can be converted, because 1 is a number. It is a number. So Python takes care of these things. It's not applicable for all of strings. Like we cannot convert s into 1, or maybe we can. Let's see. No, we cannot convert s, but we can convert 1. Does anybody have any doubt? And you cannot remember, like you can see I'm cross-checking also. You cannot remember all the things.
If we use 1.5, then
Yeah, I think it should be able to do it. It should not generate any error. Wait. It should be based on it. Let's see if it is float. Yeah, to float it, if to float it converted it, but to not integer, and then we can, the next step maybe convert it into integer. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, okay, because there will be 2 conversions, I guess, and it will not take care of 2 conversions if we write float and then int. Okay, so as you saw, what I did is I adjusted 2 lines of code into a single line of code. Okay, so you can write functions inside of a function inside of a function inside of a function, as long it is comfortable for you and for the reader. We'll see more of it, don't worry. Okay, so string conversions, you can user input. Okay, the next thing. Okay, the next thing is user input, and we have to keep one thing in mind, is that whatever input function takes, it takes as a string, it returns a string. So let me show you what we mean by what does it mean. So it is saying input. Does anybody have any questions till now? You can ask, and I'll try to answer.
Sir, if you take input from the keywords, then you declare this is a data type. Which data type you take input?
No. What is happening is, like I'll come to it. Does anybody have question for before this part, up to this string convergence, integer division, that BODMAS thing? Any if you have any questions, just let me know.
what is SVAL?
What is?
In next slide. Yeah, SVAL.
Yeah,
It is
it is a variable type here. It's just a name. It has been defined. It's just a variable name. It is no reserved keyword. It doesn't have any other meaning. It is just saying it means sval.
okay.
It is just a data type. It could have been here anything. It could have been number 1, numbers, anything. This is just a data type. Okay. Sorry, this is just a variable name, not data type. Sorry. Okay, so what it is saying is input always returns a string. So whatever input you take, let's see, let's say number one, input input. We want the user enter a number. Okay, we want now user to input numbers, and then we want number two input will take user from input, enter another number. Okay, sum number two number one. Okay, so here we are making just something very simple. We want the user to get two numbers, and we'll take those two numbers, and we'll add them, and we'll print out the sum. Okay, let's make it a little more aesthetic. The sum is okay. We'll talk about this print statement more. We'll talk a lot about a lot of things. I'm just introducing you to basic. This print statement is very powerful. We'll see. It's more powerful, obviously. It is more powerful than C, C++. A lot, way more powerful. That language is annoying. Okay, so when I run this, it will tell me here, enter a number. I enter one, and it will tell me that enter another number. I'll tell it four. I'll enter four, and we know it is a string. And now we'll see what the sum is. The sum is 41. It just concatenated us. The sum should be 5, right? But what the sum came is 41 because it just concatenated. It just added 4 plus 1. If we want the sum, if we want the number sum, we need to put this whole thing in integer. Or what we can do is we can also do something like this. Number is equal to integer. Or no, why limit it into integer? Let's say it's a float. Float. Okay. Number two is a float and float of number two. And when we run this program again, 1 and 4, in this case, the sum is 5. Okay. So the input will always be a string, and in case you want them to be numbers, you will have to specifically write to change them to numbers. Does anybody?
So if you use
Mhm.
if you use int number one equal to input, then output, what is the output?
Sorry. What do you mean?
If you type the variable int number one equal to input, enter a number, then what is the output of number one? Int number one.
You are
First,
saying like this?
yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work in Python. This is C++ Java thing. You cannot define like this, like in other languages you do int, float, double, string, array, vector. There is nothing like this that you can do in Python. It takes care of it by seeing the data type. Yeah, that is not something that you can do in Python. Is someone confused what I did here? It's not able to kya float kya. If there is float inside input, then there is a number. I don't understand because I can see some people will not be able to understand who are just starting. Just ask me. I'll explain again. Don't shy away because things will get complicated. You need your basics to be clear. If everything goes well, next week you will be working with videos, and it is a good time to clear your doubt. If you have any doubt, you can ask. You can WhatsApp me. Don't feel any kind of like shame in asking questions. Please ask questions. because I saw that's why I gave away. I asked you to fill a form because I can see there are around 33-34% people who don't know about programming. So
सर एक क्वेश्चन था
हाँ हाँ बताओ बताओ.
सर आज से थोड़ा पहले सर छुट्टी हो सकता है क्योंकि सर सुबह से सर वाइवा दे रहे हैं 9
हाँ
बजे
हाँ कोई
से
बात नहीं. मैं 3 घंटे नहीं पकड़ूंगा आज. कोई बात नहीं. पर हाँ ये स्लाइड तो फिनिश कर ही लेते हैं. ठीक है. आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी आर
ओके
लेफ्ट. Yeah, don't worry. There are not many left. 34. Okay, yeah, we can do that. But yeah, this will not
ओके
be the case every day. Because I have an exam.
टुडे वाज आवर लास्ट वाइवा आई थिंक
Yeah,
ऑल द बेस्ट
cool. Cool. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, so now we are taking about. There are no questions apparently. And okay, so what we did is we asked the user to enter a number, and we asked another number, and we did the sum. You can do something like this also. Okay, not delete this. This is now getting a little important. Okay, sorry. So what I did is you can also comment. Okay? Let's talk about comments in Python. Comments in Python. So if you want to make a line comment is something which is for your own good, which is for not own good. It is for something for understanding. So if you want to make a single like number one, you can write something like this. Number one is X. This can be 100. Yeah, something or something like this. Number two, Y equal to 100. Very unique. And you can say you can write something like taking input from user. This is just for reference, like understanding taken input from user, and you can write name. You can store input. What is your name? Okay, and we can welcoming user. Print welcome name. Okay. What? Comma. So what is happening? This is just for your reference. Something like this. A single line comment is with a hash. You can do something like this also. Har line ka alag hai. For different lines, if you have a multiple line comment taking it as one input and then displaying the welcome message. Okay. You can do something like this. Or if you have multi-line comment, you can use the doc string that I was talking about. Triple quotes, and whatever will be in between this will be just a comment. What do we mean by a comment? Whenever the compiler or interpreter, in this case Python is an interpreted language, so whenever the interpreter tackles something like this directly, it skips all of this. It has nothing to do with this compiler. The programming language has nothing to do with this. This is just for us, just for references. Like I talked about something like this, saving the background image so that somebody else, these are just comments about the code. Background image is equal to some sort of image. Okay, so these are just for a reference कि क्या है किसको. If somebody else is reading your code, they'll be able to understand, okay, so this is what the code is meant to do. Okay, so these are types of comments. We have like a block of comments, and this is a single line comment, and you can even comment here after you write the code. This will not generate any errors. What is your name? I'll input my name is here Ibad. When I put a welcome Ibad, यहाँ पे आके it is when it reaches this point, the interpreter, it has nothing to do with this. It goes on to the next line, and there is another comment here. Okay, so this is how you write down commits. Okay, converting user input, we did this. Comments in Python, okay, we already did this. Where we find the most common, okay, comment. Okay, summary type is available. Okay, so one last thing, how the print statement works here. Print statement, print. Okay, this is the last thing, and then you can ask me some questions if you want. Okay, so what is how does the print statement work, or how did it say welcome Ibad? So what is the sequence? How do we write the print statements? I'll comment this out. I don't want this to run. Yeah, you have to think about all this also. Okay, should not generate error. Yeah, no errors. Okay, so like if you are writing name and you are taking, like, I will not take user input, it's slow, Ibad, and I can say like first name, last name. Okay, now if I want to welcome this, like I want to write a welcome message, I'll write welcome, and I will write in form of a string. And what I will do is welcome, I'll, after these inverted commas, inside the bracket, inside the print function, I'll write first name. Okay, so what it will do is it will welcome space and then Ibad. Okay, and if I want to also mention my last name, I'll write after a comma last name, and it will say welcome Ibad. Okay, and you can see it is automatically adding a space between these. This is very convenient. In C++, it is very hectic. You have to manually do it. So this is we'll look into print states more in detail. We'll do some interesting things. Okay, let's do them now. I'll take you 5 more minutes, and then okay, we'll do them tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can ask. The guy just said that it is not good thing if I extend more. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have anything to say, please say it.